Oh, yeah. Here's a candidate, spores. Their dormancy and germination. You know, I don't sort my books really because who likes to be classified, right? We're all that way. This is a 1966 textbook, not mine. I was 12 in 1966. It's my father's. He actually wrote it. There's Alfred Sussman was my father. My father loved the spores. He loved spores. Spores are, I mean, they're everywhere. They're on hard surfaces. They're on soft surfaces. You're breathing them all the time. I mean, this was good practice for COVID, I think. But spores, the thing with spores is they're patient. I mean, what they do is wait it out. I mean, whatever it is, and waiting for the right conditions to resume their lives. I mean, they found spores that are 10,000 years old. You know, the thing is, I don't know how they figure out when it's safe to go and resume their lives. They don't have a central government. They don't have a CDC. I'm not sure we have either of them anymore. But we've learned, you know, I've learned a lot about patience this year and waiting. I mean, they say patience is a virtue, and I think that's true when there's nothing you can do about your situation. And patience is for losers, and I'm grabbing that word back. Patience is for losers when there is something you can do about it. And it's all about being able to tell the difference, right? Where are we? One more.
But wait, before you go to your next one, let me interrupt.
Yeah.
Are there more? How do the fires and the smoke affect the spores?
Oh, I don't think it affects them at all. They've got a pretty protective shell on them. When they're ready to do their thing, they will do their thing. You can freeze spores. You can. There's a chapter in this book speculating about whether the origin of life on Earth comes from spores coming through space on comet dust. They're capable of some surviving in vacuums even. There's a great name for that. Directed panspermia. So feel free to use that. But I wouldn't worry about the spores. They're doing fine.
Spell panspermia.
Directed panspermia, yeah.
How do you spell panspermia?
Is that one of the 7 words? PANSPERNMIA.
Does it have to do with like sperm and egg?
Yeah. Yeah, it's how I think one of the 2 discoverers of the structure of DNA, Francis Crick, spent the last years of his life focused on proselytizing this idea that the origin of life on Earth came from outer space and probably from other civilizations that had directed the diffusion of whether spores or some other way of transmitting life. And that's why we exist on Earth today. Who knows? Who knows? It didn't affect what I had for breakfast today.
But you breathe them in?
Oh, they're everywhere all the time. I mean, you notice them when you have a mold problem in your house. What you're doing is breathing spores, but they're everywhere in the air all the time. And they're cuddly. Spores are cute. Yeah.
I guess that's better than the comment I had with Mike, who told me that every time I walk down the road in the Trinity Alps, a mountain lion is watching me.
Probably true. Probably true. Licking its lips, waiting for you to stumble. Yeah. I did a show about spores at the Marsh many years ago, which was mistaken for a science fiction show by many people. To me, it was a part of the spiritual quest. It was a show about the Spores having decided they needed to communicate with me, which they did through my dreams. And before you ask, I hate when people say, "Is that a true story?" Okay, so don't even ask that. Okay,
Okay, I
This
won't
is
ask if it's a
call it theater.
Hmm?
What's
I
that?
won't- I won't ask.
Yeah. But speaking of science fiction, let me get to this other book here.